So what's up, guys? I actually intended to do this right now, this year, as a sort of like a speech or something in some AFD event or something, if they allow me to hold a speech there. Unfortunately, the AfD are fucking cowards who never do any public events except maybe put up a stand or something in some corner. They don't have rallies. They don't have anything. They don't really contact even their members. So I'm going to do this on my YouTube channel, right? So my message to the AfD. Um, Now, actually, I'm actually a member of the AfD, card carrying and all of that. Not because of most things that I agree with them. I actually mostly disagree with them. I'm actually mostly a leftist. In most regards, I'm a kind of a feminist, so I don't want women to get their rights taken away. I'm mostly pro-LGBT. I don't want them to have their rights taken away. The issue is just either way they are going to get their rights taken away, and it's better to have white Sharia law than non-white Sharia law, right? Um, so the issue is, yeah, I have only joined them for one specific reason, and that is this. Now, there has been an event in Great Britain, and it's been a conspiracy theory for a long time, a racist conspiracy theory. And then it suddenly wasn't a conspiracy theory anymore. Then it was a fact. In Great Britain, over the last 2 decades, from 250,000 to over a million underage white lower class girls aged 11 to 15 to 17 were over long tracts of time repeatedly raped, tortured, abused, trafficked, filmed, prostituted, and sometimes abducted from Great Britain by large groups of adult Pakistani men, sometimes groups as large as 40. And this has been going on for over 2 decades. And these are children who have been raped and tortured in the most barbaric ways possible by grown men, fathers, brothers. Most of them knew each other. Most of them were part of coherent communities. Most of their wives and sisters and children knew about this crime, and they supported it. And at this point, it's at such a large scale that basically the entire Pakistani community in Britain is complicit and should be punished. I do not believe there's even a single Pakistani who is actually not guilty over this crime, because they all knew about it. They all knew about it, and even those that didn't actively participate, they covered it up, they supported it. And even worse, if you wonder why didn't the police do anything, not only did the police refuse to investigate because they were afraid of racism, no, large parts of them were actually actively complicit and participating in the rape of over a million young girls. They had policemen trafficked these children in their police cars to apartments where these children would be raped by large groups of foreign Pakistani men. They knew about it. They not only refused to prosecute it, but they actively participated in it. Often the abusers filmed, and this might be why the government didn't step in, because likely this has all been engineered by them in a sort of Epstein situation where they wanted to possess these snuff films that were made. So if we actually had justice about the situation, we would have to kill several million people, execute legally And it would still be basically genocide. So this is a serious topic, right? This crime is of such scale and so ethnically focused. The entire Pakistani community is guilty. Not just guilty by association, not just collective punishment. No, every single one of them is guilty directly. And those that didn't participate in it refused to speak out, so they are complicit. So we are going to have to kill all of them. Not because they're Pakistani, but because they are all either child rapists or complicit in child rape. It's not an ethnic thing, even though it kind of is. The crimes were ethnically motivated and the targets were specifically chosen because lower class white people have no protections at all. And so this was done by Muslim migrants when they were in an extremely small minority. They only make up like a couple million people in Britain. Imagine what they are going to do to us when they are the majority. What they would do they have committed such an unspeakable crime to us when they were the minority. If they were the majority, they would commit a genocide against us that would overshadow the Holocaust in scale and overshadow the Rwandan genocide in brutality. We cannot let this happen. The rape gang atrocity should not have happened. Now, the fact that it's not being punished is another crime for which many people are going to have to die. And I do not see anyone, not even the far right, actually speak out what is necessary and what we are going to have to do, what the British are going to have to do. They need to steal their hearts, they need to harden their hearts, and exterminate everyone who's guilty. No innocence, not based on race, but based on the simple fact that anyone who participated in this atrocity has to die. Regardless of race, there's going to be a lot of white people that are going to have to die too for this. And, well, it would be horrifying enough if it was only Britain. But we all know, in Europe, we all have large groups of Muslim men who see themselves not as refugees, not as migrants who want to genuinely assimilate, but as soldiers in a war of extermination against us. And we are going to have to treat them accordingly. If we do not do this, our fate is sealed. And the fact something akin to the rape gang atrocities in Great Britain has very likely already happened in Germany. I can attest to several of my friends and myself having at least encountered some sort of these atrocities ourselves. We have been victimized in similar ways, luckily not permanently. In our cases, mostly it was just one-off attacks. But it's real. It's already happening here. And if we do not wake up to the fact that these people who came here, who we believe to be migrants or refugees, and we think we have to treat them according to the laws of hospitality, that these people hate us, they torture our children, they rape them, they have no sense of morality in that regard, they have violated every law God gave us, that we all have to follow, because of pure ethnic and religious hatred against us. And it's not just the Muslims. It's an alliance of Sunni Muslims and Zionists who both share an ethnically based hatred against white people and who intend to exterminate us in the most sadistic ways possible. And their project of moving here, disguised as migrants, is a settler colonial project akin to Israel, the end goal of which is the extermination of our race, the destruction of all of our nations, and the replacement by a barbaric system similar to those in the Middle East. And they are going to build a lot of mosques on the mass graves they have dug for us. And we cannot let this happen. And I think often about, with all these girls in Britain, where have their fathers been? How did anyone in their families let this happen? Where were the fathers? Why didn't they protect them? And I can just say that most non-Gen Z white people have utterly failed the coming generations and the current young generations, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. They have completely betrayed us. Not out of hatred, but out of cowardice. And I tell you now, if you are an older person, if you have children, ask yourself, where are they now? Are they safe? Are they in a bad situation? Are they being abused? Call them. Make sure they're safe. And if you believe they are not safe, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to trust the police? The same police that trafficked these young girls in the police cars to be raped? Are you going to trust these people to protect your children? Or are you going to take matters into your own hand? Because let me tell you, those of you, I'm speaking now to those of you who are man enough, have a spine enough to hear this. If the right-wing parties of Europe are not being allowed into power, if they fail to deport every single one of these migrants immediately, peacefully, and completely, are you ready to, for the safety and future of your children, are you ready to kill for them? Because, again, if this can't happen peacefully, you're going to have to kill for them. And if you do not take the side of your future of your race, the side of the future of your children, if you choose to rather support the state or the Muslims or diversity or democracy, there's no good ending for a traitor. The only privilege you are going to get if these people win is that you are going to get butchered last. And if we win, and you haven't been on our side, then your children and your grandchildren are going to make the rope on which you hang. That's your future. Choose wisely. There's only one future in which to live, and that's the one in which you have to kill many people, even children, even women. You're going to have to kill a lot of people. And it's not going to be democratic, it's not going to be humane. The coming civil war is inevitable, and it will be brutal, it will be ethnically based, and it will not follow any of the Geneva Conventions. It will not be in any way humane. It will eclipse World War II in brutality and cruelty. And the only decision you have to take is, are you going to stand with the traitors and the enemies of our race, or are you going to stand for your future and the future of your children? Either way, you're going to kill a lot of people, and you may die brutally. You're going to, either way, blood will be shed. There's no going around this. Because the way it's going, the right-wing parties of Europe are not going to pull through. They are not going to deport anyone. They will compromise and compromise and compromise until they are indistinguishable from the pro-rape parties, the pro-pedophilia parties that already exist. If they don't have the courage to be undemocratic and to be quite brutal, they are not going to get any form of legal full immigration done. And full immigration is already kind of unfair, right? You're not punishing them. You're paying for the taxi cab ride home after they have raped your children. We should actually kill them all if we were going to be fair and just, not based on race, but by the content of their characters, by the things they have done. Do you have the spine for that? Most of you don't. I know that from experience. My parents didn't care. They were collaborators and they are going to have to die in the coming war. And if I'm lucky, I'm going to kill them myself. But it's a very serious topic and our future is very bleak. We might not win. And even if we win, so many people are going to have to die. So much blood will be shed. It will be a stain on our nation, on our collective soul, on our consciences. But this is the future that was forced upon us. This was the inevitable result of Merkel opening the floodgates. This was planned from the start. The Zionists and the Western globalist politicians, which allowed these millions, tens of millions of foreign, violent, rapist soldiers to flood into our countries, to give them legal immunity to rape whatever child they want, to kill and to murder and to rape and to torture and to abduct. They knew this would happen. They just hope that we are all too frightened, too terrorized, too weak to actually pick up arms. Prove them wrong.